Hey guys, I'm Paige Pierce. Welcome to the final round coverage of the Beaver State Fling, the 4th national tour of the year. Thank you to the Disc Baron, El Guapo Baskets, and Innova for the coverage. Zoe?
I'm Zoe Andyke, and we got to thank Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, for giving us this coverage. If you're going to watch this front nine and you want to win this disc, you better like, comment, and share to win the disc.
Come join us.
All right, and here we are on the West Course. This is hole number 1 of the final round. It's a par 4, 630 feet. You guys have seen it all weekend. We have the left hand out of bounds, left side of the fairway out of bounds with the road. Other than that, some low ceilings in order to get to the basket from the tee pad all the way through the fairway.
Yeah, and this one actually does get debated if it's a par 4 or par 5, but it is a par 4 for this tournament. This first shot, we're just trying to get it to the big tree you see. Not the bush I'm headed towards, but the one just past it. That's a pretty ideal landing spot, I would say.
It is. If you can get up there either to or past the trees, you set yourself up to be able to, throw a driver or a faster disc at the basket instead of the layup zone. A lot of players have practiced both ways, and most of the FPO field is actually laying up, if you don't see them get past that tree. So.
Yeah, it's a good marker.
Beautiful.
If you land past that tree, you can go for it. And Catrina's X3 shot there, she's going to be in a position where I think we will see her throw it.
And I'm not thinking that Paige actually had that as an intended route. However, if you're going that far right, you are in an open zone, no trees to contend with. However, super hard to get to the basket.
You hear that?
Wow.
I thought I could do it.
It's a car with its belt completely ruined.
Oh.
And
You can send that loud thing through.
it was very hard to
decision.
focus. But I
You know what? That might be it.
kind of thought that was a sign telling me, don't throw that felon you had in your hand. Grab your Marshall, lay it up. Let's just take a par here.
I like how I really appreciate how you had a few extra seconds like that.
You're right. Yep, I do.
We hear Paige consulting her caddy, and it sounds like she does believe in herself and she is going to go for the shot. I love that.
I love the attitude she's showing right here. She just said, let's go, boy.
Let's
She's
go.
taking some deep breaths, going for it. Nice Anheuser,
Yes.
wide over the road. Stay up. Yes,
Plenty
and it
good,
does.
and actually kind of parked. I'm pumped for her. That's in the circle.
You know how wide she took that on the left side. If that didn't come in bounds, she was going to have, a 200-foot approach still. So great execution there.
Cat going for the basket as well, clipping a little bit of tree, but landing safely.
Yeah, she'll be just outside the circle, pin high on the left side. Jennifer now going for the standstill. I like this.
It's more of a controlled play.
Right out of her hand, she knew it. A little bit nose up, early release, and she never even crossed the island. So she's going to just progress about 75 feet and have to throw from there.
In good position here with the smart layup, again with the Marshall.
This one came out a little hot. I was hoping it'd hit and sit down quickly, but kind of went into that bush just past the basket. Hoping I got an open look when we get down there.
And Jen for her third shot, but with a penalty, hoping to get a little closer, but staying safe. I think she was a little worried there.
Paige lining this up for a birdie.
Oh, I actually thought she was a lot closer than that.
Yeah, it just got down a little bit quicker because it was so low and the grass just stopped it. Didn't quite commit to that one fully. She had the distance, but just didn't get enough spin on that one.
And tough, just left a little bit low, miss for Jen Allen right there. Paige, did you have a window? I mean, I can see your
I
hands.
did actually, yeah, but I just didn't quite commit to it. There was some branches in my reach back, if you will, and it just kind of made me switch up my routine a little bit.
So Kat, the only one left to putt for a birdie here. And cashes it in. This is a familiar green to all of these players, and Kat had the confidence there. I think a little bit of that elevation downhill putt was good for her. She's the only one to take a stroke off on the first hole.
Yeah, and kind of reminiscent of yesterday, opening the round out with a huge birdie putt. Again, just such a good feeling to get a birdie on the first hole, and especially when your competitor just takes a bogey and your other competitor takes a double bogey.
Double bogey.
So
moving on to hole 2, it's another par 4, 630 feet. You know, I really like how the West just opens up with 2 par 4s like this, kind of showing you that not really necessarily Milo has teeth, but that Milo is tough. And just get your head right, get your mind right. You got to know how to place a few shots, break down the fairways, and be confident in your putting.
especially this one, I don't really think that this one is eagleable unless you're throwing it in. You're never gonna have a putt for 2. So we're just trying to throw our first shot on a tight hyzer, but not quite that tight that Kat just did with her D2. She was trying to get as much distance as she could around that corner, but just, you know, a little bit too inside.
And so I know for myself, and actually Paige Bjerkaas, it looked like she pulled it a little right, but maybe a little more right than she wanted. But that is our layup zone. The shorter the hyzer around the corner, the flatter the run up, unless you are going all the way with like your farthest throwing hyzer like Paige just did. You've got a lot further to clear that downhill slope that gives you no run up. And so that looked like it was a really great shot. You got up the fairway.
Jen with her destroyer.
Taking it nice and wide.
So much power on that, and look at how overstable that disc finishes. Paige, this is where her Ballista Pro landed. Ooh, late hit there.
Redirected.
But she's still in the fairway,
Yeah.
honestly. And
Yeah, that's not bad. There's a lot of, the bunker on the left is definitely not something to be contended with. You have a lot of foliage in the face.
Catrina, she's got a ways to go, but she got through that bush early, so this would be a bonus if she can get it. You hear a little sigh, not too upset though, because I'm sure she had, you know, anticipated her drive actually being in that bush, so she can't be too upset with a 4 here. But she still actually even has a chance at a 3, just a longer chance.
Yeah. And Jen with her second shot getting out there, probably just out at the edge of circle 2. Paige trying to get up into the green. She's also outside of the circle, but we'll have a bid. It's open.
And this is my Classic Blend Marshall. This is quite a bit closer than I have ever been, so I wasn't quite sure on the distance.
Oof. Wow.
A little bit of an overthrow there and an unfortunate roll away from the basket, but still inside the circle. Feeling good about that one.
Kat with a tough stance, but still running.
Wow.
An excellent, excellent sidearm putter shot.
Gorgeous. I couldn't tell the angle from where I was standing, but that was tracking for the basket.
It was. Got a little stuff around you, but an open look at it.
Just a tiny bit low.
Off on the camera. Thank you.
And I didn't quite hear what was going on there.
There was a guy taking photos up there, rightfully so. Gorgeous, gorgeous place, but the camera shutter was on, and I kind of heard it right when I released my putt. So
Gotcha. And you see Paige Bjerkaas here using the awesome equipment for this national tour, and she realizes she's outside of the circle, going to give it a little bit of either a step through or kind of mini jump bid here.
And you can kind of see in her practice routine how much those bushes are actually in her way. So we'll see if she can turn that thought of that off and just putt it normally. But a little bit elevated, a little up, you know, uphill, and the bushes just couldn't quite connect on that one.
The signature, beautiful hole 2 green, the Beaver State Fling wooden sign in the background. The birds are singing. It's Sunday at Milo.
Catrina also for a par. Paige will be taking a bogey.
Little tap in for Jen there. That's a stress-free par. Oh, it's all good. So now we are going to be heading upstairs, up the hill to the 2 shortest holes actually on this course. This is hole 3, the Jailhouse Man. It's a par 3, 285 feet. As you can tell with the flyover, there's one really, really narrow, distinct fairway. A couple of players will challenge I guess it's about a 2-foot gap on the right-hand side, but most all the players are taking that left side gap. And
Or trying to.
Trying to.
And Kat knew out of her hand it was a little bit early, hits that tree, and honestly it's kind of in a good place as long as it stays up top, because on the left side there's a huge cliff. And mine also came out early, and I got an unfortunate kick way down that cliff, so you guys are going to get a different view of this hole.
Well, and that's the trouble. Players know that you have to throw this shot high and as wide as possible for that narrow gap. When you get in that high kick, especially off to the left, I actually got the same kick as you in my final round. It's just no man's land down there. You're kind of praying to be able to get back to a fairway, some sort of a unfairway.
And Paige here is lining up her gatekeeper. Oh, doesn't quite
Gets
release
a
it at
really
the correct time.
decent kick.
Yeah, the kick was great, and you know, Jennifer Allen's sidearm was amazing.
Yeah.
Especially considering that
We don't see that shot.
I don't know that I've ever seen her throw it off the tee. She definitely throws it when she needs to on the course, but maybe only once or twice around, and that was a very much of a surprise to me.
And as you can see, you know, lining up that sidearm again just comes out a little bit early. Cat gets kicked down. And my card was like looking the same way. We were all chopping up. You know, I think Vanessa may have had the clearest shot. I'm trying to remember. It's looking like tricky footing and looking also for a window down there, Paige.
Yeah, Terry's standing on the fairway, so honestly, I'm just trying to get it to Terry, but it's hard to even obtain that. So, you know, after that shot came out of my hand, I was thinking, man, a 4 sounds really nice right about now.
Yeah.
So I'm lining up this Classic Blend Marshall, just trying to get myself in the circle and give myself a chance.
Wow, great angle on the disc.
Thank you. I was excited about it. I know it's still circle's edge, but I was pretty excited to at least have a chance. Paige with her harp here gets it inside the circle, a little bit short, but she's in a good position.
Yeah, she's open enough to putt.
Kat with her 3rd sidearm of the hole. Amazing.
Great shot. Yep,
She got
gets it under there for the bogey, I guess. But bogey's looking good for, you know,
Yeah.
a couple members of the card here.
Jennifer, just easy approach,
yeah.
just taking an easy, stress-free par. And this is just outside the circle.
Nope. Damn.
Little bit right side release there, but good height.
Yeah. And the comebacker putt in. That was a very important putt to make, and it didn't look like a short one. That was no gimme. So that was, you know, tough to take 2 strokes over par, but well, cleaned up well.
Yeah, I found a new place on the course that I'd never seen, and you know, having to improvise and.
Nice putt there.
Ooh.
And that was a huge par save. I mean, you gotta love when you get yourself just that chance, and Paige knew it. A little trip off the way. She was excited to make that par.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, you know, you kind of touched on it yesterday and in the first day that par is super good.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is the lead card final round. I'm carding a double bogey, Catrina's carding a bogey, and Jen and Paige are both picking up strokes with a par. So you gotta know how good par is.
It is. And even a shorter hole here, not quite as tight, but hole 4 is a par 3, 175 feet. Most players are throwing a very slow speed disc, a putter, potentially a mid-range, I believe, but everybody just wants to be right underneath the basket, if not actually ace running the basket here. Uncharacteristic for Milo, this is an ace run.
Yeah. Jennifer with a little late release and gets a kick to the right. Paige, on the other hand, pures this judge shot.
Yes.
Just a little past the basket, came in a little hot. Kind of looked like she was running it, just like you said.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not that often that an ace is a great shot, but it certainly is here, you know, and just missing it will work out.
Catrina turning her putter over just a little bit, but like it's 175 feet,
Well
so just a
played.
small error is okay on this one. She's under the basket.
Yeah, you know, I think players forget it's only 175 feet. It's an upshot. Got a little action off the trees there.
Yeah, huge kick down the cliff on the left side. So we are currently mountaineering down there to find the disc. Again, a spot I've never seen on the course. I'm just trying to find a gap and get myself inside the circle, hopefully.
And you did. That's good. Good to be
Yeah,
able to
I
get up
couldn't
there.
see
That
the
was
basket, so I
bottom.
actually was just throwing up a prayer, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you're at the very base of that hill. It was a nasty kick.
All right, and Paige looking to connect on her second one. Same distance on the last hole. Ah, a little bit low.
And you can see she's pretty disappointed after just making that last putt.
Catrina for 2. A little bit high right side.
Oh, I'm letting that stuff fall down.
And Paige is going to be hopefully cashing in on the par save right here. That was an excellent save up and down.
When I'm putting, you don't have to move. Be able to move. Be still. Be awesome. Thank you.
And as the players are tapping in,
Whenever I'm putting, you don't. If I'm already putting, just don't move. I don't know who did it, but I was just asking politely to just be still. Thank you.
a little bit of frustration from Catrina Allen towards the crowd there, but at least, you know, letting them know what it was that she needed to be comfortable. Moving on to hole 5, we have a par 3, 420-foot shot. It's downhill the whole way, and you can't see the basket. That last tree that we just passed is so heavily, you know, the branches are so thick that you can't even hit that tree without expecting to drop right away.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to touch on the fact that this tee pad has been redone. I don't think we mentioned that in the previous round, that this was the most slippery tee pad I think I've ever played off. And it's scary with that cliff right there. And shout out to the tournament staff for putting in this new tee pad and allowing us to rip this drive like Paige just did. She got way down there with her Ballista Pro.
Yeah, as you can see, there's a follow-through zone, much grippier pad.
Catrina with an awesome D2 shot, just turns it over just a little bit, but that branch kind of stabled it back out, and she's up there a little outside circle 2. Might be out of birdie range though.
Might be out, but still open for a look.
And this is my Bio Defender, low and wide.
Beautiful shot, and you're gonna see it stable out. Wow, Paige.
Yeah, it actually hit the ground before it stabled out, so it got that straight skip. So I'm actually on the back side of the green, and
Yeah.
I haven't ever been there, so I'm wondering
Another
what it
place on
looks
the
like
course.
from back there.
Paige problems. Throwing probably 450, 460 back there. And Kat chooses to go with the safe, easy 3 up shot there.
Jennifer with her P1X, her go-to putter. I don't know if you guys
She's
know
lining
that.
it up. Oh, and plays the safe shot as well.
Yeah, I think those branches kind of stopped her from really running that, as did I, or as did the branches on my end of the basket. I couldn't really justify running that one.
And Paige is in a really tough position, I know, because that's where my drive landed on day
Yeah.
1, and I couldn't even stretch out far enough to see the basket.
And for some people, this might be an easy putt if you got longer legs or if you are a hyzer putter. But Paige, being neither of the two, kind of had to throw a sidearm there.
She gave it a real run at it,
I thought
too.
she made it.
I'm pretty uncomfortable with that shot, but yeah, me too. That was a really good-looking putt. And brings it back for the bogey, but did give it a real try for that par. Tap in pars for the rest of the group.
All right, solid hit from Jen there.
The weather
She's putting with
is-
some confidence today. You can see that for sure.
Couldn't have asked for a better Sunday at Milo McIver State Park.
I know it's finally warm. We're wearing shorts. We're sweating.
Experiencing summer. Oh no.
Very uncharacteristic there.
Leaving it just low on the cage, and Kat will be tapping in her bogey. As we move on to hole 6, let's see, we've got 850 feet of fairway here. It's a par 4.
Yeah.
I mean,
This one is obviously very famous because of Philo.
yes, I was gonna call it the Philo hole or the albatross hole, but it is certainly, I mean, it's a good par 5.
Oh, totally, totally.
Players just have to break down which side of the fairway they want to be on off of the tee pad.
So Jen is ripping her destroyer. She wants it a little bit more inside so that she can progress farther up the fairway, but she's right by Jonny V in the short grass. She's plenty good there.
Massive distance. I mean, that's great.
This is my Ballista Pro, trying to pull it a little more inside than Jen so I can get a little bit farther down the fairway, making that second shot a little bit more feasible.
I love that left-hand side of the fairway too. That's actually always the desired side. But again, this first shot is just getting out there and around the corner, getting the distance.
It's a good move Paige put on that Ballista Pro. That is her most overstable one, so you saw it just kind of die out a little quicker than she wanted, but she put a good amount of power on that one.
And this is Kat's X3. She put great power on
Yeah.
and she's center cut.
She's throwing that thing super well.
Yeah, you can see
I
throughout
think
this
it's a great
tournament.
addition to her bag.
Yep.
And Paige now with her more seasoned Ballista Pro, you can see that turn in it early in the flight, but still hyzers back out and gets her in the front side of that
The bunker
tall grass.
there, yeah. Which I love how the BSF staff keeps that bunker there on the hillside. So it's usually forcing players to persevere like that.
Yeah, and you
know.
can hear Jen telling it to sit. She doesn't want to be challenged on that left side. She wants to keep herself open for that hyzer look into the green for the birdie. Catrina goes with a mid here. She's obviously laying up, just trying to get where Paige is and then go for it from there.
Mm-hmm. I know that's my play as well, is trying to kind of hyzer short to put myself in that third shot hyzer position.
I'm actually aiming at Jonny V. Was supposed to come out flat, I will admit. It was not supposed to come out on an anhyzer. I was just trying to punch a flat shot over there, but the little bit of turn I accidentally put on it made me hit the bushes and drop a little bit short.
And
Catrina deciding
Yeah,
between two discs. It looks like she's lining up her M2, and you can hear the wind starting to pick up here, so good choice in this one.
get through.
Oh, a little bit too wide and
Pops out
leaves
the
her
front
short.
side though, yeah. And then same kind of positioning here with the rough run up, but Paige is fully attacking high route.
whoa. Get through.
Just
That-
comes up short or rounding the corner, huh?
Yeah.
Come on the good side.
Came
got a
out,
nice
like
kick.
she said. That tree is a grabber.
Yes.
You know, it's actually pretty rare that a disc comes out. So great kick for that. Wow.
This is a great play by Jen Allen. I'm
Nice
not
job,
sure you guys
Terry.
can see. Yeah, that camera footage, first of all, is excellent. You guys see how the disc is tombstoned. She lines it up and probably throws it about 100 feet high, if not higher, and sticks that perfect spike hyzer.
I told Jen, I was like, dude, that shot was amazing.
One of the best shots
I
of the
hope
day.
Terry got that thing, 'cause that was a skyrocket on the perfect angle.
How cool. And this will be Kat's, let's see, third shot.
Throw in her signature PA1, getting it up there on the putting green.
Paige taking a jump bid at it. And it looked like there was a little nose down.
Yeah, I think she kind of tickled some of those early branches, maybe didn't account for them.
Kat is, you know, she gets in for the par, which is great after having that one little blip in the fairway, so it's always good to get a par. Kind of love how that disc was tombstoned and comes down like that. Jen's stoked on a birdie. Great position to put herself in. Had a tap in par for Paige Bjerkaas. And for Paige Pierce, a birdie. And we're moving on to hole 7. It's a par 4, 587 feet. And, you know, this is the first of the big islands, or I mean, this is the bigger of the first 2 islands. The player needs to stick their drive on the island or else take it from the drop zone. However, if you somehow manage to not throw your disc even outside of the teeing area, that's all inbounds as well. So you wouldn't have a penalty. You could actually take it from this side. That happened on my card.
Jennifer knew right out of her hand she didn't get that wide enough, and with that really overstable destroyer, there's no chance of that one staying in bounds. She will be proceeding to the drop zone. So I'm looking to correct on that and go quite a bit wider with my defender. No matter what disc company you throw, we're kind of all throwing our most overstable long distance driver here. Paige, this is her Ballista Pro. You can see she put a good amount of turn on it, but look at that hyzer back, and I think it was the perfect angle.
Kind of gets her to the center left side, but she was testing the OB the whole way with complete trust.
And
Cat's
Cat,
over
look at
the
this
OB
D2
the
shot.
whole way. Yeah, look at that.
Wide hyzer that was flat the whole way.
Excellent
Gorgeous.
distance. Yeah. Little,
Good thing Jennifer
baby.
Allen is a headphone wearer.
yeah, a little baby ice out in the background, but nothing will phase Jen Allen.
And I didn't ask her. I wish I would have, but was she going for that one or not? You know, it's hard to. She does have that distance, but it's hard to fully commit to going for it because you could overpower it and flip it over the road. So
Well,
I
and
think it
those-
was a good
Those
execution.
trees are serious guardian trees. Although you can see the basket, the way that the height and how wide the branches have grown out make you have to throw it wider and harder.
Yeah.
You'll see this in Paige's shot right here. You're going over the out of bounds, and there is OB deep, you have to remember.
Ooh.
So,
She didn't pull it wide enough either, but that branch just knocked her straight down, and she's on the putting green.
ooh. Got a little kick out from the tree there. Looks like it came out of the hands early.
Yeah, it totally did. I just didn't put full focus into that shot. It was such an easy shot. I got myself so far down there and just didn't quite focus enough to throw the shot needed.
So you've got yourself a circle 2 putt here that you're lining up. And this is your third shot.
This is.
Yeah. For the birdie. But that is no gimme distance for anybody. I don't care who you are. It's an excellent attempt.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration there, having that short of an up and down and not being able to capitalize there. But Catrina now is looking to take this opportunity and get a stroke.
And just left.
Didn't quite get it there. She said the card in front of us a little bit distracted her. They were moving around because they were teeing off right beside us.
Paige knew it out of the hands. She said, get up. It was only about an inch short. But yeah, I actually will say it being the final round of the Beaver State Fling Day 4 and Sunday, the spectating is the highest amount that we have throughout the whole tournament. I know that there was a backup on almost every tee until we got closer to the end of the round. And so you can see some frustration out of Kat. I know there was quite a bit of frustration on the card in front of me, on my card. There were at least, a 2 to a 10-minute backup everywhere, keeping the cards very close and spectators kind of all around. And
Also,
just
it's
how it'll
one of the
go.
hottest days of the year so far, so you got people trying to come in that aren't even aware of disc golf and just go swimming in the river.
Yeah,
So quite a bit of traffic through the park right now, but it's really cool when you think about how many new eyes are on disc golf.
And
because
that's
of
how
that.
I feel about it too. I feel like it's really special when we actually get to show off that we're at a national tour here and we're playing our final day. It's pretty cool. Moving on to hole 8, it's the second island. It's only a par 3, only 485 feet. I'm just kind of joking around a little bit when I say par 3, 485. This is a really, really tough hole to ever get yourself in position for a birdie, but every single one of our FPO players has distance to get out there.
And you would think that I was trying to go for this hole, but I will let you know, honestly, that I was actually aiming to go left of those 2 twin trees. I missed my line by about 80 feet there and was not excited about that.
And it looks like Paige kind of undercorrected. I don't know if there was a little headwind for you guys.
There actually
like there
was
for
quite
us.
a bit of headwind,
Yeah.
and that definitely did factor into a lot of our mental thoughts here or just our execution as well. Catrina with her D2. A little bit high, and that headwind's going to keep it
Keeps
up.
it suspended, as you can see, but she just hyzers underneath everything and puts herself in a great spot on the fairway.
Yeah, that's exactly where you want to be. You want to aim at that left tree there and let it hyzer. Jennifer's looking to replicate Catrina's shot.
Hyzering. Oh, but she gets herself at least on the open side.
And
Man,
that is an okay spot to be, actually. It's
It
just a
is.
little bit longer of an approach, and on that island green, it's a little scary.
Bjerkaas laying it up right up to the edge. Gotta love that.
Yeah.
And honestly, Paige, I thought
this one was very nerve-wracking for me.
Yeah, I thought your drive was gonna like crawl itself in on the island there too, but that's a tough angle because that island is very narrow and it's kind of a hill on each side. So I can only imagine that upshot was stressful.
Yeah, and at this point, I've given Catrina already one stroke, and you know, there's lots of danger present. I'm not quite hitting my shots, and I'm just worried about going double OB. So that one had a lot of nerves on the line.
Jen sticking the landing on the island as well. Catrina is lining up a sidearm, slower speed disc here.
A2 under. Oh,
Hits
hit the basket.
metal.
I was wondering if
Excellent
it did.
shot.
Beautiful. She throws that A2 sidearm quite a bit now, and she's making it look pretty easy.
Oh no. She lined it up so proper. I mean, it looked great out of the hands.
She
Just
thought
a
she made
tiny
it
bit
too.
right.
We talked about it on the next tee.
And Jen's cashing in on a par. Again, I'll say it. I've said it before and I'll say it a million more times. Pars are gold. There's absolutely nothing wrong with a par here. And I appreciate Paige you sharing kind of about the nerves and the mindset on that previous upshot because, you know, we're halfway through the round. We're coming into hole 9. The nerves are high. You felt like you kind of hadn't gotten on in your shots yet. And, oh, what are we looking at?
I mean, it's still a good jump. He still moved up 15 spots, but he was 9 under through 14.
Oh, we're checking the MPO field here.
Aw. Yeah, that's a clean front 9. It's one bogey. 5. Which one's 5?
It's just the sidearm roller, and then you threw the.
Oh, yeah, that super hard hole.
never mind.
No, that's
you weren't
it.
on my card, but that, yeah.
Must have been looking at the fiance's scorecard.
Yeah, it's
Soon to be future Miss Grady shoot.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we don't get to see the men play on this, so we're checking the scores while we're out there, and luckily for backups for that purpose.
Honestly, yep. And that's actually what you saw that footage all about, is the fact that each card still is waiting on every pad. At least there's good ways to entertain ourselves. Hole 9, par 4, 689 feet. You guys saw it on the flyover. OB lines the whole fairway on the left-hand side.
Catrina with that X3,
Wow.
beautiful wide and hyzer, but again, we are experiencing some headwinds, so it doesn't quite get the hyzer back. She'll be on that right side, and she'll have some trees to contend with. You'll see, you know, her either throw a sidearm or an hyzer to get around those.
Big, incredible distance from Jen as well, but as we just heard Paige talk about, there's a seriously significant amount of headwind coming off the river today. You can see the feather banners signifying that. So Paige is leaving hers out wider, I believe, off of those first 2 wind reads.
Yeah, honestly, it just came out high and hyzered, and again, a misfire by me. I kind of let an overstable disc go on a hyzer towards OB, and kind of was destined to land out of bounds.
And Paige Bjerkaas as well, experiencing some of that headwind hold to the right, but is in a decent position
forward
as
back
long
for a
as she's
second.
got a turnover here.
I think this is close, and I don't think she did super good on this hole.
Talking with her caddy about what the best
There are other
next
holes
play
that would
is.
be better if you challenged them instead of this one.
You're right.
What is your heart telling you?
It's super windy. Yeah. So that just is super touchy. So I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
I really appreciate Paige and Amy's relationship. I don't know if you guys could hear it out there, but Amy whispered, "What does your heart tell you?" And so she's holding Paige true to it.
She grabs a verdict, actually, so you know she's decided to lay up.
Yes. and it was a great, well executed layup. She's a little disappointed at how tight it probably landed, but
Dumps. Right?
well,
Right over the red part.
Yeah, dead tree, yeah.
All right, back it up. I'm gonna come from.
Paige Pierce also seeking some advice from caddy Ian, and he's been solid for you all weekend long. Definitely no need to doubt any of his suggestions. He knows your game, he knows your discs. It's a good relationship you guys have.
As you can hear, I was aiming at the red part, but I didn't quite get it wide enough and hit the top of the tree and dropped straight down. Won't have a look to save my par. So I kind of just know I'm going to be giving at least one stroke away on this hole. Maybe two if Catrina can get up and down from here.
And that was a well executed second shot by Catrina Allen, putting her probably right around the circle 2 area.
Now Jen has a chance to get up and down for a birdie 3 as well. This is her Mako 3 wide on an Anheuser, but the headwind kind of stalls it out and drops it. So she'll be a little bit outside circle 2.
Paige with a tight upshot that does break through a little bit. It's going to give her a putt.
Kind of back and forth between a throw and a jump putt. I opt for the jump putt. I have a little bit of the shrubbery on the right to contend with, so I'm going to have to put it on an Anheuser.
Great angle on that. I mean, that's huge. That was at least, what, 85 feet? 90
Something
feet?
like that, yeah. Jennifer lining up a long look at birdie.
And it does drop, giving her a putt. And this is for Kat's birdie right here. Leaves it up high. Oh, and
Beautiful.
cashes in.
Right in the center.
Wow. I
That
was
goes
just
to
counting
show.
her steps actually to see how many.
Yeah.
She was well in the circle 2 range. That was a good putt.
Yeah. No smile at all. I would be jumping up and down on that one. It's really impressive to watch a putter that kind of has more of a loft and they just like put it up over the basket and know that it's going to drop in. I thought that was such a beautiful putt right there.
And Paige is cashing in on her. That was her par, up and down.
Yes. She got the par 4.
And you've made your putt for bogey with the unfortunate OB penalty. 4 shots, 1 penalty.
So Catrina will be picking up 2 on me and 1 on Jennifer and Paige. Making the race a little bit tighter here.
Yeah. And
Headed into the back 9.
I was just going to say that concludes our front 9. You can see the reader board here. Join us for the second half. It's going to be exciting. Milo West does have its teeth out today.
Yes, it does. Catrina and Cy being the only ones at even par with the best weather yet. So we're trying to capitalize on this back 9. Join us.